Hey guys, how you doing today? Good morning. Hang on for a second. I wanted to. It's Friday morning, and I wanted to give you guys an update on my dad. Yesterday morning, I drove my neighbor around to run errands. She is elderly and has a hard time getting around. So I drove her around yesterday, getting some of her errands run. And when we came back here, she said, "If you want to, you can take the car and go visit your dad." And I jumped on that opportunity. I was like, okay. And I could have used her car any day this week to do that. But I just felt like yesterday was the right time. And I went to that hospital with the intention of just going off on the doctors and going off on the surgeons and what the heck is your problem and went down with the intention of just going off on whoever I could finally go off on as far as my dad's case is concerned. And I got to the hospital, went up to the floor that his room was on. The elevator doors opened. I stepped out, looked to my left, and there was my dad and Lois. He was out for his walk. And I just ran to him and threw my arms around him and got very emotional. And all the emotions, all the anger, all the worry, all the fear, all the panic, all the doubt just kind of melted in his arms. And I wasn't done hugging him, he was done hugging me. I was like, I'm not letting you go yet. No, not yet. I had them for, I don't know how long. Lois went back to his hospital room, and I walked with him around the hall and then back into his room. And it surprised me how awake, aware, alert he was. He was being funny, he was being goofy, he was, But watching him walk down one hall and then back and then into his room, I really got to see how quickly he got tired and was almost kind of not panting, but just kind of like trying to catch his breath. And he wasn't walking that fast, guys. He wasn't walking that fast, and so. But to see how slow he had become, and to see how quickly he got winded and tired. I mean, we got back into his hospital room and he got in bed, but then 2 minutes he was out, he was asleep. And I began to kind of realize what the doctors were saying. He's at such a weakened state right now that if they did the surgery on him now, he'd have to go without food after midnight, have the surgery in, the morning, and then be laid up in bed for another, 4 or 5 days. It would weaken his system so much more. And they feel like his system is already compromised. And that's why they're saying, we want you to go home, bulk up your strength, eat more, get some good rest, get active, and then we'll schedule the surgery. They do feel that he does need it, but because of his age, because of his medical issues, and because of how weak his condition already is, they have legitimate concerns about the surgery. So they took out his catheter. They gave him solid food, semi-solid, like eggs and stuff like that, eggs and like pudding, I think, and stuff yesterday. And so they removed the catheter, and they want him to empty his bladder. Well, after they took the catheter out, but the time I was there, anyway, he had not gone to the bathroom at all. He tried a couple times, felt the need to go, but nothing came out. So they gave him a medication that's supposed to encourage your urine flow or improve it or kind of motivate you to have to feel like you have to go. And so they're not sending him home until they know for sure he can void his bladder completely. and not have some beast still be in there or whatever. So, but being there with him, you guys, all the anger and all of just the ferociousness I felt, and the panic and the worry and the doubt and the fear and just the not understanding. Spending that time with him, I was there less than an hour, you guys, but that time with him helped me immensely to see with my own eyes what they were talking about and understand why they're thinking the way they're thinking. So it's not like they don't want to do the surgery, they do. But he said, it's just a weekend state right now. They feel like it would be too much to do the surgery right now. So they said in a way, they talked about sending him home tomorrow, which is now today. But they want to make sure he can avoid his bladder completely, and make sure that his pancreas stuff is calmed down a little bit. And they're either giving him medication for that or something. But this is not the solution that we were expecting. Definitely not. But I talked to my dad yesterday, and I told him how I've been crying about him. And I've been worried about him, and I've been scared for him, and I've been wondering how he was. And Lois was doing her best to keep us all updated by text, but it's not the same as being there. And told him how badly I wanted to be there. And it was just really, we had a really touchy moment. I'm not going to go into what all was said, but it was a very touchy moment that was so badly needed for my dad and I. Because we're the kind of people that we don't get into the whole gushy, I love you so much, kind of thing. We're not that way. But I felt like yesterday we needed to have that conversation. And he needed to know how much I loved him and how important he was to me. And we said things that needed to be said. I'm trying not to cry. We said things that needed to be said. We said them to each other. And I left there feeling completely different. In a completely different mindset than was when I went there. And so I finally did get to see my dad. They might be sending him home today. It depends upon his bladder. It depends upon how he's doing. But they want him to go home, eat regular food, have regular stuff to drink, get lots of good rest, kind of recover from his hospital stay. Try to get my dad to be active at all. He and I are all liking that way. We don't want to exercise. We don't want to move. We want to sit at our computer desk for 5 hours, and we don't want to move. So trying to get him to exercise and be like pulling teeth out of a tiger, but we're gonna try to get him to move around, be more active, walk a little bit, whatever we can, get him to eat, regular meals, and kind of build his strength back up to where they feel like it's safe to do the surgery. But with his age, he's 80 years old, and he has heart issues, and he has other medical concerns. There are legitimate reasons why they're wanting to wait, and now I understand that a little bit better. When I went in to see him, once we got back into the room, and he lay down, I saw one of the hospital bracelets on his wrist, and it said DNR. And I said, I see this little bracelet you have on your wrist. He goes, oh, yeah? I said, please tell me that stands for my daddy needs resuscitating. And he laughed and he goes, sure. I'm like, you're a liar. Seeing that DNR, do not resuscitate, that kind of freaked me out a little bit. But obviously that's a decision that him and Lois talked about, and it's my dad's choice if he wants to be resuscitated or not. And so, but it was hard to see that DNR bracelet on his wrist. I just thought, oh man, I didn't know he didn't want to be resuscitated if something happened. It was a very long day. By the time I got home, I was absolutely exhausted. So I just wanted to update you guys. I want to thank you for praying. And if some of you were just as angry as I was and as confused as I was and didn't understand what's happening, and maybe you still are, and if you are, that just shows how much you care about me and my dad. But I wanted you to know what happened and how I left there feeling totally different than I did when I got there. Once I saw him, the elevator was open. I turned to the left, and there he was, right there. And I just latched on. It's all like you and I start just openly sobbing. I didn't do that because I don't like to cry in front of people, but I was very, very close to that point. Um, it was wonderful, you guys. It was wonderful to see him. And he may be going home today, he may not. We're going to see how his bladder does and see how his system does. But we're really hoping this will. He'll go home, he'll rest, he'll catch up on his sleep, he'll be able to eat really good food and have really good stuff, tea or water or whatever to drink, and he'll kind of get his system built back up from these hospital stays so that they feel safe during the surgery. So, I'm going to go ahead and go. I just wanted to update you guys. I'm going to get this uploaded here in just a little bit. But thank you so much for your love, your prayers, your support, your concern. Um, to be able to see him and wrap my arms around him yesterday and tell him the things that I've been wanting to say meant everything, and that kind of dissolved a lot of the anger. So I'm gonna go and go. I love you guys. Thanks for watching this. Have an awesome day, and whenever I hear any updates, I'll be sure to let you know. Okay, thank you.